Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am working on some fun Christmas art projects, so I'm going to share some with you and try to turn it into a little bit of a tutorial. I have been working on a lot of Christmas ornaments this year, and I just love this project because it was a way for me to take my miniature paintings and kind of turn them into something useful. So I brought out a couple of them that I already have finished for you, and I'll show you those, and then I'll show you how to get some of these techniques. So to start with, I have one of the square ornaments that I did, and I'll get it closer so you can see it better, but basically this is a wooden square that you can buy at the craft store. These are about 3 inches wide, 3¼ inches wide, and they're really only, an 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe 1 millimeter thick. So they're really nice and lightweight and really great for ornaments. On the back, I stained the wood so that you can see all of the beautiful grain on there, and I just used a Minwax stain, my favorite. It's like a mahogany color. And then on the fronts of these, I have actually hand painted, as you can see, little miniature scenes. So this one's just a little bowl of apples with some nice snow-covered branches behind it. And I have another one here that I painted an abstract green background and a little basket with a curtain behind the table. So this will hang from my hole here. I'll use a decorative string and I'll put a clear coat of polyurethane on all of these. This is a favorite of mine. I just finished this little guy, if you can see that. A nice little abstract background and some cute little apples in there. So I want to show you more of a basket look for this tutorial, and then we'll paint some apples in some baskets that I already have started. So to do the basket, I'm using my favorite angle brush, and you can see it's a little stained, but what I like about this is the effect you can get using the angle. Now on my paint palette here, I'll just give you one little look at this. I already have everything mixed up and ready to go. I have a very dark brown right here that I've mixed using red, yellow, and black. I also have an orange red here that I have mixed with my red and some cadmium yellow. So that's what I'm going to use for my apples. This is just the green straight out of the tube, black straight out of the tube. I have some white up here if I decide to use a highlight, so you can't really see it very well, but it's there. And mostly what I'm going to use for the basket is a little bit of black and then some red and yellow mixed to create a brown look. So it's similar to a one-stroke method so that you get lots of texture in the piece. So this is the square I'm going to start with. It's gray with some red swirled onto it. And I want my little basket to be right down here in this bottom quadrant. Because I'm hanging it from something, this is going to act like a focal point, so I'm spreading things out a little bit more so that you're not only looking at the top of the ornament. So to start with, I'm going to use my angle brush and pick up some pure black. I'm going to press that into the bristles of the tip of my brush so that it looks something like this when you're done. And I want first to make an ellipse at the top to make the opening of the bowl. So I'm literally going to paint a long oval just by making one curved line on top and another curved line underneath. And I'll meet those together later as I work. And you can always straighten out this line too if it's not your favorite. Now to create the edge of my bowl where I want to have a shadow, or my basket, this is a basket, I'm going to pick up a little more pure black, and starting on one side of my bowl, I'm going to draw down and swoop this over. to create the bottom. So you can see I've just made a little sweeping motion with my brush here. And now what I want to do is change the angle of my brush so that the pointed tip is upward. And I'm just going to pull this black across a little bit, almost halfway, 3/4 of the way across, because we're going to pull light from the other side, and it's going to give you this really nice balanced shading that you want to see. So now what I'm going to do is pick up some of my red and yellow mixture and press that into my bristles. And because I already have black on my bristles, I'm going to make a brown. So it's not super mixed, but it's going to make a brown. And now what I want to do with the point of my brush up again is pulling from the other side. I'm going to swoop down and over, just like that. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that red and yellow mixture and pull from the inside of my lips here and pull some nice bright paint across, just to create that inside of my basket. So you can see we're starting to form this recognizable shape that you want to see. What I want to do now is detail around the edges. I'm going to bring a little bit more of a highlight onto this side with some yellow and clean up the bottom of my basket. And if that ever happens to you, if you ever get a little bit of paint on something that's already dry, just wipe it right off. It's like it never happened. So let's do those little highlights. I'm wiping off my brush and getting some of that darker paint off and picking up some pure yellow in the tip of my bristles. It's not a perfect yellow, but we don't really want it to be because you're mixing it into some brown. So what I'm going to do is pull down from this side and just give myself a little highlight here. Just brighten up the top of this basket a little bit. And now to complete the shading on the other side, I'm picking up some of the dark brown, and I'm going to straighten out the bottom here and sort of marry those colors together, because you don't want it to be too dark. You just want to give it some shape. Also using the dark brown, can you see that a little better now that it's closer? Using the dark brown, I'm going to sweep across the top and give that a little bit more shape also. So now you have more of a recognizable basket shape. Now I want to use the dark brown and the tip of my bristles and make little tiny handles right at the corners. So I'll pull this back just a little bit for you, and I'm just going to make a little swoop right here for one handle and a little swoop on this side for another. And now you have a little basket with two handles on it. So this is an abstract looking basket. It's a Christmas ornament. It doesn't have to be perfect. So starting with that shape, I'll show you one that I already have done, and we'll put a couple of little apples on it, and then we'll be done for the night, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too many projects. So this is one that I've already started. I have my basket. I have a nice green background on here. This is a two-handle basket, so just something simple. For my apples, I'm using a very teeny tiny little brush. This is such a great brush for small details. So what I'm going to start with is my red and yellow mixture, my red and my cad yellow. And I'm just going to press that into the bristles of my brush, sort of swirl that around in my paint a little bit so that I have a little on there. And In the inside of my basket, I'm going to make a little apple that's sitting down inside of my basket first. So just going straight across here and then creating a half oval shape, just to get that outline in there. So just a little half circle sitting inside of your basket. Now what I'm going to do is a heart shape next to this. Let's see if you can see that a little better. Just making a tiny little heart, just to be the outline of another apple. And we can do one more in here. I think we have time for one more. I'm going to try to keep this video under 15 minutes today. So my other apple, I'm just going to make a circle next to my half circle. So right over here, make a nice circle with your red and fill it in all the way. Now we're going to work on a highlight for this. So wipe off your brush and pick up some pure yellow. And right at the top of your little heart-shaped apple, I want you to do a little swoop of yellow. Just like that, to look like a top. And then I want you to do a little dot of yellow on your half circle and a little dot of yellow on your full circle. These little highlights are going to work great for you to put a stem in just a moment. So now what I'm going to do is wipe off my brush again. I'm picking up my dark brown, not my pure black, and I'm picking up some red with that. Oh my god, can you hear my cat meowing? He's begging to get in my room right now, you guys. He's dying. Anyway, we're going to take this darker red. It's not super dark, it's just a little darker. And right under where you put your yellow, I want you to sweep this underneath and blend all those colors. We're going to do that again. We're going to do that on all three. It doesn't look a lot different, it just gives you a little more shape. It just makes it look a little more like an apple. Now we're going to paint the stem and some leaves with a tiny bit of black paint on your little brush. Just do little dashes inside of your yellow. That's going to give you a perfect little stem. Just like that, just tiny little dashes in the yellow. I'm going to make this one a little longer. And for our leaves, using pure green, after wiping off your brush, of course, using the pure green, what I want you to do is make a little dot and then pull away. Make a dot and pull away. Make a dot and pull away. And sometimes you can do that twice, just to give you some little tiny leaves. Okay, so I think that's a good start for now to get you started on some little Christmas ornaments of your own. And what I'm going to do is finish these with a clear coat of polyurethane and let them dry overnight. Then what I want to do is hang them with a decorative string and they're ready to go. They'll be a perfect gift for someone you love, someone who's starting out their first Christmas, somebody who's starting off in their new home, or if you just want to do some fun Christmas presents for people or some fun Christmas ornaments for your house. So I hope you guys had some fun and hopefully you took something away from this little project and you can try something new. Thank you so much for joining me and please join us again for more videos.